Night has come. Episode 6 starts with the students waking up the following morning. Yoon Seo is still reeling from the shock of Wooram being a mafia. Before they can fully wake up, there is an announcement that the police used their skills and Park Ji-soo was killed by the mafia. Ji-soo was a citizen, and the game is still ongoing. The students have to identify another mafia and vote by midnight. Jun-won starts feeling despaired and questions if they will ever leave the center alive. Yoon Seo tries to remain hopeful and assures her they will be fine. The students leave their hiding spots and find Yoo-jun mourning his girlfriend. A few minutes later, Kyung-jun summons everyone to an impromptu meeting. He feels proud that he identified Wooram as a mafia. He says that he will be responsible for determining the mafia moving forward. He asks his fellow students to tell him about their suspicions, and he will pick the one most likely to be the mafia. Of course, some students confront him and ask who he thinks he is. Kyung-jun turns his attention to Jun-hee, So-mi, Yoon Seo, and Jun-won because they were trying to save Wooram. He argues that they must be mafia and are helping each other out. The four students deny this and try to prove their innocence. They each state the reasons why they couldn't have killed Ji-soo. Ju-won points out that Ji-soo and Yoon-jun spent the night locked in a room together. So-mi questions if Yoon-jun killed his girlfriend to survive. As Yoon-jun is not there to defend himself, he listens from outside. Mina asks why the police never used their skills to save Ji-soo. In the end, Kyung-jun insists that Jun-hee is the mafia. Yoon Seo tries to defend Jun-hee, appealing to Kyung-jun's humanity but finds no mercy. In fear, Yoon Seo reveals her discovery of the CCTV surveillance room and suggests they check the footage to find the mafia. Unfortunately, they find someone has deleted the footage from the day before. Ju-won decides to retrieve the files, but Kyung-jun says Yoon Seo is tricking them. He and his gang vote for Yoon Seo. She asks the rest of the students to wait before voting and give her time to prove her innocence. To save Yoon Seo, Ju-won promises to retrieve the files before 11 p.m. The students disperse, and Mina, So-mi, and Na-hee head to the infirmary. While there, So-mi and Na-hee get into it after the former suggests they vote for Yoon Seo. Na-hee thinks that would make them murderers if Yoon Seo turns out to be a citizen. She is also concerned as she knows So-mi has always disliked Yoon Seo and wants to use this opportunity to get rid of her. They argue, and So-mi asks Na-hee if she is a mafia because she has been hanging out with Ju-won and Yoon Seo lately. Mina senses the intense fight is getting out of hand and intervenes. Back to Ju-won, she explains to Jun-hee and Yoon Seo that she can only retrieve a few files from yesterday. For this reason, she decides to get the files just before Ji-soo was killed. At the same time, Yoon Seo shows Jun-hee the wall entrance in the freezer and the picture she found. She asks him to believe her, and he says he does. They check out the space again, but it leads them to a dead end. While looking, Yoon Seo asks Jun-hee what he will do if she is a mafia. Jun-hee says it doesn't matter as he will never vote for her. Later, the two get fresh air outside, and Yoon Seo confesses she wants to live. Jun-hee tries to keep her spirit up and asks if they can find more evidence against the mafia. They check out Ji-soo's room with a UV light and try to guess what happened. They deduce that someone broke the door using the axe Wooram used to kill himself. However, they can't use the UV light to trace the mafia because some people, including Yoon Seo, have blood on them. The blood accidentally spattered on them and sadly, they are back at square one. As they talk, they get a message that the footage has been retrieved. The students all gather to watch the footage and are surprised to see what looks like a ghost. The footage is shaky, and the hard drive starts burning up. They quickly put out the fire, and Yoon Seo insists she saw the ghost before in a picture. She shows the group the picture and says the ghost is the girl in the far corner. She asks the students to believe her and suggests they find the game's creator instead of killing each other. As expected, the students become more confused and head to the pool where the ghost was seen in the video. Junhee suggests they vote in a new way since time is running out. Since Yoon Seo got 4 votes, they nominate someone else and spread out the remaining votes. Junhee argues that they can survive if no one receives the most votes. He suggests himself, and they vote to spread the votes evenly. After the vote, the announcer is silent, and the students believe the plan worked. However, their happiness is short-lived. The announcer comes through and explains that Yoon Seo and Junhee are tied. She asks the students to vote within the next 5 minutes to decide who will be executed. Only those who didn't vote for the two can vote again. The lights go off, and the students panic as an alarm sounds. Somi starts by voting for Yoon Seo and asks the rest to join her. She takes the picture in Yoon Seo's hands and tears it up. Ju-won tries to reason with the others not to vote for Yoon Seo. Junhee starts having a flashback to all the moments the people he loved died right before his eyes. He decides to die to save Yoon Seo. He admits to being a mafia, and the remaining students vote for him. Somi begs him to stop and tries to save him. Yoon Seo is a crying mess and refuses to leave his side. As the results trickle in, the students start running to safety before night comes. Ju-won and another student are forced to drag Yoon Seo away from Junhee as he falls into the pool and drowns. The episode ends with a flashback to Somi killing Jisoo the night before. This time, she stands over Yoon Seo, holding an axe. She is about to strike her as the credits roll. The episode review. Junhee's death hits harder and is heartbreaking because he volunteered to save Yoon Seo. At this point, we have to wonder what Yoon Seo's mental state will be like. She will need to brace herself for more loss or even death because Somi will come for her again. This time, Junhee won't be there to save her. It comes as no surprise that Somi is a mafia. She has been suspicious since she pushed that boy over the line. Will she kill Yoon Seo, and who else is the mafia? Lastly, the ghost storyline feels like a reach. There has to be more to the story, and why is Yoon Seo the only one who keeps seeing these things? I can't wait to see who is behind this game and their motives. This show keeps getting more twisted and confusing. Nonetheless, like a train wreck, we can't look away.